Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Kids to College. Today, we will be making a marshmallow catapult. And what is that exactly, you ask? Well, I have already created one for demonstration, but we are going to create one together on video so you can see exactly how I did this. Now, I just want to show you that it does work. So I'm going to put my catapult down. I'm going to take my marshmallow and set it very carefully. And so we're going to hold it at this end, and we're just going to flick the spoon. And we have created our own catapult. Now, there's many different ways you could do this and many different materials that you could use. And you also could make multiple so that you could play with your siblings. So let's get started. You're going to need a marshmallow, several rubber bands. I would recommend about 5 or 6 rubber bands in total. And you're going to need roughly 8 to 10 popsicle sticks as well, and a plastic spoon. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take roughly 6 popsicle sticks, and we're going to stack them on top of each other. And we want to get them aligned as perfectly as possible. Okay, so we have our 6, and we're going to take one rubber band, and we're going to tie one end. So you might have to wrap it a couple of times to get it nice and tight to hold all of the popsicle sticks together. Okay, now we're going to do the same with the other end. This is called our fulcrum. That's going to be our centerpiece that's going to hold together everything we need to have a successful catapult. So I've almost got it wrapped. Okay, so we see that they're nice and tightly wrapped together. Next, we're going to take our 2 popsicle sticks that we have. We're going to keep them together. And this time, we're only going to rubber band one end of them. And we want to do the same thing nice and tightly. And because there's less of them, you might find that you have to wrap the rubber band a couple of times around it in order to get it nice and tight. Okay, so remember with the 2, we're only doing one end, okay? Now we're going to take our fulcrum and we're going to separate the 2, even though they're still together at the bottom. We're going to separate our 2 and put our fulcrum in the center, okay, so that it looks like this, okay? Now we're going to take another rubber band because we need to secure these 2 pieces to our fulcrum. So we're going to take it, and this part's a little tricky, but if you hold it nice and steady at one end, and we just are going to wrap it around a couple of times to get it nice and tight on there, because if this part starts moving, then we won't be able to use it. Okay, so I only had to wrap it a couple of times. Now we're going to take our spoon, and we want to look at it from this angle, right? Because we're going to set it down like the one that I made, and it's going to be sitting like this. So we're going to very carefully lift up our rubber bands that we just wrapped around the fulcrum and the 2 other pieces. We're just going to slide the end of our spoon in there. We don't have to slide it too far, okay? So now we have it in there. We take our marshmallow, and there you have it. You have your own marshmallow catapult. So I encourage you to use erasers. You can use different things like chopsticks, different wooden spools, if you have anything like that. You can get really creative in creating all different types of catapults. But if you have 2 of these, that means that you and a sibling or you and a friend that lives in your home right now could use this, right? And you guys could have marshmallow fights. So that's how we make a marshmallow catapult. Please stay tuned because next week we're going to be making some wonderful puffy souffle, some non-sticky putty as well. So it's kind of like slime, but a little different. And we're going to check in on our egg in about 2 days. I hope you have a wonderful day from Kids to College.